Hi everyone, it's Mrs. D here. I'm sitting at home on our snow day, which is Halloween, and I didn't want to lose any time with our next, with the introduction to our next chapter, which is photosynthesis. So I thought I'd start today with a lecture using my little whiteboard here, which is just pieces of paper. So hopefully this will work. We just finished studying cellular respiration, or the process where chemical energy is converted into a form of energy that all cells can use, which is ATP. It was a catabolic reaction, which means energy was released. And I think that's it for now. So now that we're going to start learning about photosynthesis, this is a process where light energy is converted into chemical energy. Chemical energy in the form of sugar, organic molecules like lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins. What type of organisms can perform photosynthesis? Well, these organisms include plants, algae, some protists, and some prokaryotes. Organisms that can perform photosynthesis are autotrophic, or self-feeders. We say that plants are also photoautotrophs, meaning that the original source of energy used to create the chemical energy is coming from light, or the sun. Heterotrophs are organisms that cannot create their own food. They must consume other types of food to get energy, and that includes animals, fungi, some prokaryotes, and some protists. All right, so big picture now. There are two basic stages of photosynthesis: the light reactions and the Calvin cycle. The light reactions are simply when light energy is captured and converted into chemical energy. And the Calvin cycle is when chemical energy is used to make or build organic molecules. So there's the synthesis part. Okay, I'm changing my whiteboard here. So remember when we did cellular respiration, we had that big picture. So photosynthesis, where does it fit into our big picture of an ecosystem? If sunlight comes into an ecosystem and there is a cycling of matter that occurs in the ecosystem, so autotrophs which perform photosynthesis take in carbon dioxide and water and produce organic molecules and release oxygen. And these organic molecules and oxygen, are they taken up or used in the process of cellular respiration to produce ATP and carbon dioxide and water, and this cycling of matter occurs, but energy produced by mitochondria in the form of ATP occurs during cellular respiration, and energy is released in the form of heat from the ecosystem, any energy that's not converted into ATP. So right now we're at this point, we're going to be studying the chloroplast and the process of photosynthesis, the process where carbon dioxide and water is taken in and converted into these organic molecules, and oxygen is released as a waste product or a byproduct. The main product here is the food or the organic molecules. Okay? Sorry about the shaking here. Okay. So the key to photosynthesis, or the site of photosynthesis within a cell, is the chloroplast. And the chloroplast, with its double membrane and its thylakoids, provides that unique chemical environment where the enzymes that are used in photosynthesis are allowed to function, or function best. Hang on a minute. I have the structure of the chloroplast right here. So you need to know these terms, get used to or memorize these terms. So the chloroplast, remember, has a double membrane, the inner membrane and the outer membrane, and in between these two membranes is the intermembrane space. Now, there's a big difference between the inner membrane of the chloroplast and the inner membrane of the mitochondria. This membrane is not highly folded like the one of the mitochondria, which included the electron transport chain and the ATP synthase complexes. So where is all the surface area then? Obviously, surface area is probably needed here as well in this process. Well, the surface area is found in the thylakoid membranes. Okay, so inside the double membrane of the chloroplast is a dense, thick liquid, which is called the stroma, and then inside that, are the thylakoids, and the thylakoids have membranes, and there's a space inside each thylakoid, which is called the thylakoid space, and they're kind of stacked, and a whole stack of thylakoids is called a granum, and these thylakoids are like a network. They're all connected together by membranes. So here's where you get that increased surface area, and you'll see where that why that's important in a minute. Okay, so the chloroplast, or the structure of the chloroplast, is the key to photosynthesis. This is where photosynthesis is happening within a cell. But what organs are the site of photosynthesis? Well, leaves on plants. Leaves on plants contain 500,000 chloroplasts per square millimeter, and any green part of a plant has chloroplasts, but not all parts of the plant perform photosynthesis as well as the leaves do. So so you need to know something about the structure of leaves before we go on, okay? The structure of leaves, or a leaf, has an upper epidermis and a lower epidermis, and it's the lower epidermis that include the stomata, or the holes where gas exchange occurs. So oxygen is released out of the leaf, and carbon dioxide is taken in by the leaf. So this is the site where that exchange occurs, at these stomata, and the this upper row of cells here, the whole internal space here is called the mesophyll, but these upper cells are called the palisade mesophyll, whereas these bottom cells are called the spongy mesophyll, because there's gas in between these cells. They're not as densely packed as this upper row of palisade mesophyll. So where is photosynthesis occurring? It's occurring in the mesophyll cells. And each cell has approximately 30 to 40 chloroplasts per cell. Okay, and mostly in the spongy mesophyll is where photosynthesis is occurring. The veins that run through the leaves carry water to these cells, and the products, or the main product, which is the glucose molecules, away to other parts of the plant that need energy, or food energy. So what is it in the chloroplasts, which are in the cells, which are in the leaves? What is it in there that absorbs the light energy that it actually is used to drive the synthesis of organic molecules? Well, it's this pigment, this green pigment called chlorophyll. And where is the chlorophyll located? It's located in the thylakoid membranes. So going back to the structure of the chloroplast, when you see the green in plant leaves or in plants, it's these membranes, the thylakoid membranes, that contain all the chlorophyll. And it's that pigment which is responsible for absorbing the light energy from the sun, which then is responsible for driving this whole process of photosynthesis. Okay, so I'm going to stop there as a basic introduction to photosynthesis, and then we're going to go on and learn more about the chlorophyll and the electromagnetic spectrum.